Hello. Hello everyone. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to consider the prospects of the Boeing, which is already flying high, metaphorically as well as literally, because Boeing is the manufacturer of the planes, and as expected, the Boeing's planes are indeed flying high at the moment as we are speaking and watching this webinar. For last couple of quarters, the stock price of Boeing has continued to trade with bullish momentum, upward momentum, and since the release of its third quarter financial results, we have seen the Boeing rallying quite higher, and at the moment it is almost 30 percentage point up from where it used to be prior to the release of that earnings report. And even though it had suffered loss, but there were some positives for the company has indeed done better than expected, even though its defense and security unit is still in loss. It is not really making money, and there are a couple of initiatives like its Starliner program, which is running late and also above cost, and as a result of that there has been a significant charge the company has provided. And if we look at the commercial operations, then things are quite better there, and Boeing has lot of deliveries lined up for next many years, and it has strong order book. So on the commercial front, it is doing well, and that is why it has headroom for spending on some loss-making ventures, which in course of time are likely to bring in significant amount of money for the company, even though those initiatives are still at the moment in loss. Now, if we look at the key highlights of the third quarter 2023 results, you will see that the Boeing is planning to ramp up its delivery schedule. It is expected to deliver more planes. If we look at the numbers of the 787 as well as 737 MAX, it is planning to increase its production every month and make the deliveries faster than earlier commitments. The revenue was at $18.1 billion, which was the payment for 105 commercial deliveries. There is huge backlog, as I said earlier also. The deliveries are going to take many years. So for next many years, the Boeing's order book is going to take care of its money, cash flow. Only thing it has to do is keep these deliveries cost effective so as to maximize the profit, and also its other initiatives in the defense and security space starts to needs to start delivering profit. And if it happens, then the Boeing will be firing on all cylinders, and we can expect the stock to go on to prior pre-COVID highs of above 400. But that is going to take times, maybe couple of years. We don't really know. But at the moment, looking at the current prospects of the company, things are indeed looking rosy, and we can expect this bullish momentum to last at least for next couple of weeks, if not more. So we are going to look at the fundamental as well as technical side of the story. We will see the third quarter's earnings report, and after that how things are shaping up on the technical side of these stock. So for that, later on, we will be looking at its charts of different time frames to understand the developments on the short, medium, as well as long-term horizon. So now we straight away head to the consolidated statement of income for the third quarter of this fiscal year. Here, this is the report, the consolidated statement of operations. So the revenues were at US dollar 18.1 billion, which is more than 10 percentage point growth if we look at the revenues of the September 30, 2022. There is quite good growth in the revenues, but its loss is still on the books. It is still losing money, and that is happening, as I said earlier, also because of its defense and securities operations. Otherwise, the commercial vertical is making profits, and it is expected to remain in profit for foreseeable future. The net income stood at US dollar 1.6 billion, and as you can see in this consolidated statement, there is narrowing of loss. So the company is taking the initiatives to reduce the cost, to reduce the loss, and in course of time we can expect these ongoing initiatives to make the company profitable, and in course of time its net profit is also expected to rise. So I will be listing you some key reasons why the company has been losing money. So we are going to look at the segmental results. Prior to that, this is the statement of cash flow, and the statement of cash flow is also very important. And after the losses, we have seen its cash and cash equivalent dipping to US dollar 6.8 billion from almost 14 billion US dollars it was holding in cash last year. The debt repayment has reduced the net cash flow significantly, as it has paid more than US dollar 5 billion. So that's a reduction in the debt, but that has made the liquidity situation bit tough, but still there is a quite significant amount, quite a big amount, which is still on the books of the Boeing. So I don't really see any major challenge cropping up for the Boeing because of these $5 billion reduction in its cash equivalents for the last quarter. Now we are going to look at the segment data for these year. The commercial airplanes have continued to bring in solid revenues for the company, with defense, space, and security coming close second. Then global services is a segment which is also inching close to the second highest revenue contributor, which is defense, space, and security. And if we look at these numbers, you can see that the global services is the segment which is bringing in almost $1 billion worth of profit. So it has been enjoying healthy operating margin, but the other segments are not doing that well, and we still have loss on that front. And the major loss, as I underlined earlier as well, is because of the Starliner program. But it is happening for greater good, and in course of time, the company is likely to reap benefits of its current struggles, as it is working on the safety mechanisms to ensure that there is reduction in the probability of anything or something going wrong with its Starliner launch when it is going to send the NASA astronauts to the space. So, to overall, there was reduction in the loss, and this was the result which was better than the analyst estimates. The street consensus was a wider loss, but the company has been able to cut its losses and raise the revenues while also making sure that the free cash flows are up. So these were the highlights of the financial statements of the company. This is publicly available information. You can access it from the investors relation page of the Boeing. Now we head to the JForex 4, the trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA, to look at different time horizons to see what is happening in the share price of the Boeing. For last couple of weeks, the rally has been phenomenal, and as I said earlier also, there has been almost 35-40% growth from the lows prior to the release of the quarterly earnings. And here, as you can see, there was this sharp jump. Then after due consolidation, the momentum picked up and there has not been any looking back since then. So the stock is clearly in a bullish phase from the short term perspective, but this is not really the time to go for a new buy trade, as this is going to be a bit risky. But in course of time, we can expect to find buy on dips opportunities, and for that we will have to keep an eye or try different time frames to see the opportunities emerging therein. Now for the short term, only thing we have to do is keep looking for the dips and do consolidation afterwards, because right now there is no reason not to buy, but from purely from the risk reward ratio and to maximize the profit and minimize the losses, that is the trade optimization. I don't really feel that this is the right time to buy, because it is currently sitting on these high point of the day of the week of last couple of months. And even if it simply goes sideways or there is some correction from the current levels, we are going to be probably suffering losses. So as to avoid that, it will be better for us to wait for some correction and then do consolidation before we can jump in and try to profit in the short term. From the medium term to longer term perspective, the things are looking similar. The medium term is showing consolidation with these sharp turnarounds since the release of its quarterly earnings. Now, in this quarter, the expectations are also of further reduction in losses, and even though the defense segment, the defense vertical, is likely to keep suffering losses, but the commercial segment is expected to deliver stellar profit in coming quarters. So that is also a big positive for the company, and in anticipation of that, it has climbed sharply from sub 180 levels to now almost 250, and it is expected to continue to rise for these 250 levels and beyond that. So from medium term, the trade is not really available right now. We will have to wait for further correction from the current levels and do consolidation afterwards. Here also we can adopt a buy on dips approach. From the longer term, the time to buy was when it was consolidating close to these 200 levels because we had this prior swing high. Then after that, we had this move in which the Boeing stock reversed course since the release of those quarterly numbers, and they have not been looking back for last couple of weeks. And at this current juncture, the momentum is favorable for the bulls, and I am also advocating a buy on dip stance in the Boeing's longer term horizon as well. So whether you are looking to invest and trade in a short term, medium term, or long term, the better opportunities are likely to arise if you keep the bullish picture in mind and keep looking for the opportunities to buy on dips after due consolidation. So the same analysis holds for the longer term horizon as well. We will need now it to deep towards maybe 200 or thereabout levels in coming weeks, and in course of time we can then go for new buy trade with the expectation of climb towards 250 and beyond that. So that's my take looking at this charting of the Boeing stock, which is trading with bullish momentum for last couple of weeks and expected to do so in coming weeks, coming months as well. Now it's time for me to sign off. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.